This evening, a two-car accident west of downtown Billings resulted in the temporary closure of all lanes of traffic on Montana Avenue near the Custer Avenue intersection. According to Billings Police Sergeant Ben Milam, the crash was reported at about 5:30 p.m. Sunday afternoon. Milam said a purple Mustang was traveling west on Montana Avenue when it crossed over the center line and collided head-on with a fire department battalion chief's pickup truck that was traveling east. The occupants, both male, of both vehicles were transported to the hospital, and according to the Billings firefighters' Facebook page, the battalion chief was treated and released earlier tonight. All lanes on Montana Avenue were closed for about an hour, and speed is a suspected factor. A local look at an issue that is currently controversial and a hot topic of discussion across the nation, which is vaping. This is following 6 deaths and a rash of illnesses related to vaping. Just in the last week, President Trump has adjusted his stance on vaping, from the potential ban of all flavored e-cigarettes to issuing a statement Friday urging Americans to avoid counterfeit products. Additionally, the CDC has updated their definition of those with potential vaping-related illnesses from 450 possible cases down to 380 confirmed and probable cases.
Vaping itself is fairly new. There are many unknowns, such as long-term effects.
But they know that people who have been sick have been using e-cigarettes with tobacco or nicotine, as well as e-cigarettes with THC. Some of them have been purchased from stores, and some of them have been purchased off the street.
Another substance suspected to be responsible was found in many cases of the illness.
Some thought that people will make their own concoctions and put them in the vaping device. The pulmonary complications are thought to be related to maybe the oils that they are suspending the product in. We did find a common denominator with some vitamin E oil.
It is believed that it is being added to the off-street cannabis products in order to help them form a vapor.
Vitamin E oil sounds safe because we use it on our skin, or you can take it in a capsule form. Once you inhale that into your lungs don't really have a way of getting rid of that. Now you have inflammation around all of these oily deposits that's actually inside the lungs. So as opposed to our GI tract where we can clean it out, or on our skin, our lungs don't really have a good way of getting rid of it.
We also sat down with a local vape shop to hear their perspective on the issue.
It's becoming more clear that it's not all related to the common vaping mechanisms that we sell at our vape shops.
Nicholas maintains that there are benefits to vaping over smoking.
4,000 chemicals inside of a cigarette, and then there's 72 carcinogens. When you vape, there's only 4 chemicals or ingredients: propylene glycol, vegetable glycerin, and flavoring, as well as pharmaceutical grade nicotine. We try to give as much knowledge as possible to the community to make sure that what they're doing, whether it be the mod that they're carrying, the batteries that are affiliated with it, we try to educate them, because there's different milligram strengths, not just throw them on a nicotine level into a nicotine level that's going to be best suitable for them, to help them transition from smoking to vaping, to help them quit.
He also urged the importance of purchasing from a legitimate vendor.
We do a lot of research inside of our shop, so we try to give as much knowledge as possible. They know what the possible risk of it is.
In Billings, Jenny Fick, MTN News.
Thank you, Jenny. And she says in order for the ban to go into effect, it will first have to be finalized by the FDA. And Dr. Bruin recommends refraining in the midst of the investigation and utilizing other aids, such as a quit line. Well, 2004 was the first year the Out of the Darkness Walk was held in Billings. At that time, Billings was one of 25 cities to hold a walk with a focus on suicide prevention. Now in 2019, over 400 Out of the Darkness Walks are held every year. Q2's Mitch Laggy was at the walk in Billings today and is here with more. Mitch?
Zoe, the Yellowstone Valley Out of the Darkness Walk benefits the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Money raised through the walk stays right here in Montana, helping the foundation fund research, educational programs, and survivor support. Thousands of people from around the region walked at Veterans Park today. The group exceeded their fundraising goal, bringing in about $120,000. The money will help the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention fund outreach education. Part of that education is teaching family and friends how to ask the right questions.
And so we need to be able to talk about it, and it's events like this that bring the community together and have camaraderie and help people connect and know that there is hope and help and resources. How do you ask someone that you love if they're hurting and if they're struggling? Because we have to ask the question, and oftentimes that's our own anxiety that gets in the way and our fear. And so if we can get that education of what signs that we're looking for and how to ask those questions, we're going to access and reach the resources that people need to stop this epidemic.
The Yellowstone Valley chapter of Out of the Darkness is collecting donations until the end of the year. Zoe?
All right, thank you, Mitch. Runners laced up bright and early this morning for the Montana Marathon. The marathon is 26.2 miles from the Molt Community Center to Pioneer Park. A determined man from Sheridan won the marathon after coming in second last year. Q2's David J. has more from the winner.
Patrick Geary from Sheridan wins the Montana Marathon in 2:52:01.
6 or 7 years ago, my goal has been to win a marathon someday, and you know, it feels great. Crossed it off my bucket list.
Geary ran a personal record 2:44:27 last year, but came in second to Andrew Drobeck of Missoula.
The last 2 times I've run the marathon here in Billings, I've gotten second place. Last year by 30 seconds, he passed me with about 2 miles left.
Geary persevered and kept working toward his goal.
Persistence, keep beating your head against the brick wall. Don't get discouraged. The 5th time that you get second just means that you got to get back after it and spend another year training and getting in shape.
And that training can help with more than running.
I'd be the last one to try to pass on life lessons to anybody, but I've never been much of a quitter. And so I stuck it out and just looked at it as a good time to be alone with my thoughts. If there's anything that I take away into the rest of my life from all the running I do, it's the chance to get my head straight right away in the morning. Is something that I don't think most people really get enough of, especially these days, and I think it's incredibly valuable for mental health. I know it is for me. Running is good for me, and I love doing it.
In Billings, David J., MTN News.
Thank you, David. And David says that Geary says he will run more marathons, and he has another endurance test in November. He plans on backpacking at 2,500 miles across Europe. Good for him. Turning now to weather with Rob Griggs. All right, I mean, it was hot the minute I stepped outside this morning going to the gym, and that was pretty early.
Yeah.
What's going on there? Is that regular for this time of year?
Absolutely not. We've got some real warm weather. We tied a record today. We're going to be flirting with a record again tomorrow. And then the bottom falls out and we return to what I would call typical September weather. So let me show you what's happened around the region today. Our highs remarkable across the Rockies from Billings down to Salt Lake City into the 90s. You look at Seattle, 61 degrees. And the reason why 61 degrees, as apparent on the satellite radar composite, another inbound cold front trough heading in just from the coast right there. A southwesterly direction right now is bringing all that dry, warm air our way. And if you look at the water vapor satellite imagery, just the darker spots over Montana and Wyoming show that it's kind of crispy out there. There isn't much going on in terms of precipitation. We have one more day of warm weather, and then, as I say, things are going to change to turn a little bit more like September average weather. We'll take a look at that with the work week forecast in just a moment. Zoe?
All right, thank you, Rob. A little fun at Zoo Montana today. Children and families splish-splashing their way through this beautiful day, all while raising money to help seniors. The 23rd... The 23rd annual Rubber Duck Regatta features a fun competition with the duck races, even a carnival and some entertainment adding to the festivities. The money raised goes to help Big Sky Senior Services Prevention of Elder Abuse program.
The more you can educate the community of things to watch out for, the more you can talk to them about the scams that are going on, absolutely, you can tell that there's a difference. We love it because it's such an event for the generations. So we have something for everyone. We have bingo, but the kids can play with their grandma. So it's just really a neat event to draw all the generations together.
Looks like a good time, and this is the first year Big Sky Senior Services has held the Rubber Duck Regatta at Zoo Montana. The years before were at Riverfront Park, and that was the venue. Well, stay with us. More to come on the 10 o'clock news. A push by U.S. agricultural groups now that Congress is back in session. Find out why after the break. Later in sports, we talk about 2 players who have proved something yesterday for the Cats and Grizz.
You're watching MTN News with Zoe Zandora, Storm Tracker weather with Rob Griggs, and sports with Casey Conlon. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.